you'll remember, was a member of the British Army of the Rhine. Back in August 1969, he was sent across to Libya for training. But soon after, Colonel Ghaddfi came to power, which meant John and his team were stuck in Libya for 4 months. Every night, the Libyan army would turn up with live weapons to intimidate John and his team, who were guarding the ammunition compound. He's been telling our reporter at Nishma Hindocha how they sang "Consider Yourself," from the musical Oliver, to the Libyan army to keep themselves entertained.
We were required to guard the ammunition compound, which was just outside the actual base. Obviously, we don't have it in the base, and there was tens of thousands of artillery rounds and machine guns and etc. And each night the Libyan army would turn up with their armoured vehicles and they illuminate, put their headlights on and shine it directly at the guard who were at the front of the entrance to this, and I was part of the guard. Night after night of this in freezing temperatures, I got really fed up. I thought these people are taking the mickey, but they were taking the mickey with live weapons, because they were firing over our heads, obviously just to intimidate us. So I thought, well, we're not going to be intimidated. And at the time there was a musical out called Oliver. So I said to my 2 colleagues who were guarding this compound with me, I said, look, let's give them a song. They're lighting us up as if we're on stage. So between us, we decided we were going to sing them "Consider Yourself." So we actually, and it's madness now, but we gave them a song and dance, and it went something like this. Consider yourself at home, consider yourself for one of the family. We've taken to you so strong, it's clear we're going to get along, etc. And the Libyan army, you could see them staring at us in absolute disbelief.
I'm not surprised.
Hey.
I'm not surprised.
Well, it amused me. I thought that should baffle them. A couple more rounds went off over our head in appreciation, but they never actually shot at us. No, they didn't.
And then, how soon was it until it all fizzled out and then you were allowed to go back home again?
Well, it didn't actually fizzle out, did it? It's fizzling out now.
Well, let's hope.
42 years later. But we gradually, the garrison was down, he allowed a certain number of planes, and I was one of the last few out from RAF Adam in December 1969.
What was it like for the country when he came into rule? Do you think he made a bit of a difference?
Well, I saw Tobruk and Benghazi and areas like that, and they were sectioned off. The actual palaces for King Idris were patrolled by the Libyan army and the Libyan police. And the beaches were sectioned off. We had a beach for the British beach where you were allowed on. It was like going into the officers' mess. You could dine and swim in the sea and fully protected. But the Libyans weren't allowed there. They were living in mud huts and tents outside all that. It was like biblical times.
And that was before Gaddafi came.
And that was before Gaddafi came into power. So there was no distribution of wealth at the time.
There's not much now, though, is there? Or do you think he's made a bit
I've seen it on television, and whilst I haven't been back for 42 years, what I've seen on television, it certainly looks like a slightly different place, and I believe that there are now functioning universities, and there has been a slight more distribution of wealth, albeit that it's not total, but Libya's not an exceptionally wealthy country, although
no,
it's got
not at all.
Well, it doesn't seem to have changed too much, but then again, when people are in control, they do what they may make promises until they get there, and when they get there, they do what they damn well want. That's what Gaddafi's probably done, but he hasn't hurt the people, and King Idris seemed to be oppressing them.
Would you go back?
No, a team of wild horses wouldn't drag me there.
Kind of says a mouthful there, doesn't it? But what memories would have been reignited by the current situation in Libya. That's John Sutton from Plaintley Woods.